Good afternoon, Stan Sanders. How are you today?
Thank you very much.
We're bringing you back here because you had a lot of live viewers, a lot of questions, people asking you questions on the spot about law. But today we're talking about compassion. You've been known within the community to give back, to help a lot of people, and I'm here to ask you today, when a case is over, what happens? What happens with the client? What happens with your relationship with them?
Every client is different. When we handle a case, there's a bonding that takes place. We know quite a lot about the client, about their financial affairs, about their needs, and what we try to do is use the settlement money to help them reach their goals. So most people, when we get a major settlement, have a difficulty in managing the money.
Mm-hmm.
So what we like to do is we like to take the client's money and have them use their money to buy an annuity that gives them a guaranteed return on a regular basis as to their needs.
Oh, wow.
And the annuities that we buy generally come with a term of 20 or 30 years. We add a rider to that so that as long as the client is alive, the client continues to get that funding. And it could be a monthly check of $500. It could be a check for $50,000 every 5 years. And that way, there's no issue that the client is going to be able to do what they want to do with their money, educate their children, buy a house,
Right.
Or whatever their goals are. It's their money.
Wow. I mean, that's incredibly nice of you to help them, because we don't want them to be in a situation where they've used up all the money, or family members have used up the money. I have heard and I know firsthand about you helping people that you're involved in their cases from a compassionate level. I mean, you are an attorney. You've done some things that I feel like you just don't care. You're helping people, but do you have that issue ever?
We take an approach that's to do the best possible for our clients. I had a case many years ago of a little boy who was crushed against the wall and had some fractures and also a severed urethra.
Wow.
So he had to wear his severed urethra.
Right.
And they were all failures, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh.
And I was reading about a doctor at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital who was repairing severed urethras from soldiers who were injured in those days. It was the Korean War and even World War II.
Right.
And I called them up and I said, could you examine this young child who was a young teenager and see what you could do?
Right.
And the parents gave me permission to take the child to the doctor. And this was actually all done after the case was settled for $1 million.
Really?
And I'm very happy to say that the surgeon said he could do it, and then the operation took place. And by the time all the paperwork was done, the infant's compromised, and his $1 million was in the bank,
mm-hmm.
he was back in the playground.
Wow.
And his urethra had been repaired.
Wow.
And he was leading a normal life.
Wow. Do you stay in touch with a lot of your clients?
A little bit. Some we bond forever, and some in and out. But
yeah,
we get calls from clients who we took care of 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. And
yeah.
they're still making referrals to us, and we're still handling cases involving members of their family.
Right.
And
you've had some high-profile cases. I mean, your attorney here, Ed Nikowitz, handled the civil case from a very high-profile murder trial, right? With a doctor.
We we handle many cases.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of them are giant cases, some of them are small cases.
Yeah.
But in each case, we try to be compassionate with our client.
Right.
We try to give them legal advice. We try to give them life advice.
Right.
We try to help them in any way we can.
Right.
Many of our clients come back to us and ask us to write recommendations for their children to go to school.
Wow.
We donate to all types of charities that involve children,
Mm-hmm.
such as autism. David Woysick, my partner, does the Boys and Girls Club. If you go out to the clubhouse, you'll see his name on
Right.
it.
Right.
And that's what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we have an obligation to give back, that every person has the ability to be, as Ronald Reagan said, a point of light, a star in the sky. And I think it gives me great satisfaction to help people, period.
Yeah. We had the Catherine Leo asked a question, and it was if you could remember any of the cases that you have dealt with over the years, is there any that stand out in your mind?
One of my first big cases involved a client called me on the phone and said that he was blind and it could possibly be a malpractice case. And I said to him, give me your address and directions.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'll come to your house.
Yeah.
And he said to me, that's great. I said, why do you say that's great? He said, well, the other 15 attorneys maybe come to their office. And
Wow.
I thought that meant it was going to be a difficult situation, maybe a fruitless situation. But I promised him that I would come and hear his story.
Wow.
And I went and listened to him. And he had an operation that was, in a sense, successful. They took out a tumor from his brain, but unfortunately it left him blind. And the issue was whether there was a malpractice case involving the hospital.
Right.
And I figured with 15 lawyers looking at that particular part of his medical history, that probably wasn't the case. So I asked him what else took place in the last 2 years. And he talked about a dental extraction at a dental clinic, and pain and antibiotics, and then several weeks after that he had the pain in his head and he wound up going to the hospital and eventually had the surgery.
Wow.
And I obtained the actual block of tissue that was left over in the hospital from his surgery. I had new pathology slides made, and the pathologist said that it was a dental infection, that it dated back exactly to the time he was treated at this dental clinic.
Wow.
And apparently they took out the tooth. The tooth had penetrated through the jawbone, which is normal, and of course they didn't cover him with either the proper antibiotics or enough antibiotics.
Right.
Infection went through that incision, through that opening into the cavity, and then wound up in his blood and in his brain. And the tumor actually came from the dental infection.
Wow.
And I brought a claim against the dental clinic, and I spoke to their insurance carrier, and they told me I was crazy, and they asked me how much I wanted, and I said $1 million, which is your policy. They told me that they would give me $5,000 if I would go away, and I said, I will do you a better favor. I will settle the case for $995,000, save you that $5,000 because you've been a gentleman.
Wow.
2 years later, after I proved to them that it was their fault,
Right.
they paid me $995,000 to my client.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's an unbelievable case.
And I put the money in a trust fund,
Mm-hmm.
helped them get an investment advisor, and he's lived with his blindness, but he's well financed, and because he has all that money, his world is very secure.
Right. Wow. That's remarkable. Well, it's really nice to chat with you today, Mr. Stan Sanders. Really, you have incredible stories, and we look forward to hearing some more from you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.